Sri Lanka is an island country located off the southern coast of India, surrounded by the Indian Ocean, Gulf of Mannar, the Palk Strait, and lies in the vicinity of India and the Maldives. This detailed video is about to express how Sri Lanka's economy behaved during past years and what happened to the economy of this beautiful country in present days. Sri Lanka's documented history goes back 3,000 years, with evidence of prehistoric human settlements that dates back at least 125,000 years. The earliest known Buddhist writings of Sri Lanka, known collectively as the Pali Canon, date to the Fourth Buddhist Council, which took place in 29 BCE. Since this video is not to explore about the Sri Lanka's history, but to give you an idea about economical crisis which Sri Lankans are facing currently, let's find out how economy was behaved from early modern times. Agriculture, both subsistence and commercial, has played a dominant role in Sri Lanka's economy for many centuries. The Portuguese and Dutch, who ruled the coastal regions of the island from the 16th through the 18th centuries, were primarily interested in profiting from cinnamon and other spices. The island's economy began to assume its modern form in the 1830s and 1840s, when coffee plantations were established in the Central Highlands. Coffee soon became the dominant force in the economy, its proceeds paying for increasingly large imports of food, especially rice. When coffee fell victim to a leaf disease in the 1870s, it was quickly replaced by tea, which soon covered more land than had coffee at its height. Coconut plantations also expanded rapidly in the late 19th century, followed by rubber, another cash crop introduced in the 1890s. These three products, tea, coconuts, and rubber, provided the export earnings that enabled Sri Lanka to import food, textiles, and other consumer goods in the first half of the 20th century. At independence in 1948, they generated over 90% of export proceeds. The economy gradually became more diverse after the late 1950s, partly as a result of government policies that encouraged this trend. The main reason successive administrations tried to reduce the country's dependence on tea, rubber, and coconuts was the long-term decline in their value relative to the cost of imports. Even when Sri Lanka increased the production of its major cash crops, the amount of imports that could be bought with their proceeds declined. It was just happened due to the corrupted political advance, that Sri Lanka cannot reduce imports than they export. Even there was some enhanced pattern of exports in 1970s, percentage of exporting major cash crops was fallen. Serimavo Bandaranaike, the widow of Bandaranaike, took office as Prime Minister in 1960. In 1971, Ceylon experienced a Marxist insurrection, which was quickly suppressed. In 1972, the country became a republic named Sri Lanka, repudiating its dominion status. Prolonged minority grievances and the use of communal emotionalism as an election campaign weapon by both Sinhalese and Tamil leaders abetted a fledgling Tamil militancy in the north during the 1970s. The assassination of Jaffna Mayor Alfred Dorayappa in 1975 by the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, which was called LTTE, marked a crisis point. Governments of several presidents from 1972 to 2009 faced LTTE terrorism, and Sri Lanka didn't have any progressive or highlighted economic rise. However, in 2009, government under Mahinda Rajapaksa and Sri Lankan military forces were able to defeat LTTE and were able to kill LTTE leader, which was the most awaiting hope of Sri Lankans for many years. From 2009 to 2020, Sri Lanka's economy was slightly raised, but it was not able to keep at a strong position when COVID-19 global pandemic hit the country just as others. Sri Lankans had to suffer from Sunday Easter attack in 2019 April and also from COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. The tourism industry totally collapsed, which was a major path for foreign currency. By end of the 2021, country leaders and all other responsible positions of the government were not able to manage the cash flow. But it was too late when civilians get to know what has happened to the country's economy. Fuel prices were increased by huge margins, prices of other essential items such as food also get increased, and medicines also get hard to find even in government hospitals. People suffered in long queues for fuel and gas. Several power cuts were also scheduled by the Ceylon Electricity Board due to a lack of diesel and coal to produce electricity. But in one night in May 2022, a bunch of people gathered near President's house in Colombo and started protest and demand the immediate resignation of the president. From there, pure Sri Lankans gathered face at Colombo, started a massive protest, but peacefully, and they urged to resign Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who was the president, from his post, as well as demanding the disappearance of their family regime. Past few weeks you may have seen in news channels about the crisis in Sri Lanka as well as the protest which was originated by civilians. We, the Pool of Info team, can say that this protest is totally peaceful unless some minor incidents were planned by corrupted political parties. They named the protest areas Gotagama, and they established each and every facility that a normal village has, such as a hospital, library, etc. This place was such a wonderful protest we have ever seen in the world. Some were singing, some people organized street dramas and much more entertaining events also. However, the major hope, which was the resignation of Gotabaya Rajapaksa and abstention of Rajapaksa family regime, was succeeded by July 2022, upon the huge antagonism from Sri Lankan citizens. Our team's opinion is this crisis should not have happened to a country like this, which has a huge foreign attraction in tourism. So this description is about to encourage you, the viewers, to help Sri Lanka by visiting this wonderful island.